I'll just be straight up blunt with you. I am not a Nike person. I'm more of a Reebok and Adidas person. Yeah, more of a Reebok and Adidas, and I own one pair of Nikes. I had a lot of Nikes. I sold them all. And my Nikes are a pair of Jordans. So yeah, Chase Lee Hockey here with the Blue Futon reviewing Air. This is the story of Nike getting Michael Jordan to do a shoe deal. And the reason why the shoe deal happened is because of one Nike employee. Well, I'd say more like 3 or 4, but mostly Michael Jordan's mother being the smart woman she is today. So, did I like this film? I'm a sucker for basketball. I'm a sucker for Michael Jordan. He's a million times better than LeBron. It's a completely different league. Yes, you could be like, oh, the 90s and the 80s and 70s is completely different than today because today there is no defense. Let's be fucking blunt. And, when you're going up against Charles Barkley, who do you have like that today? Like, you had Charles Barkley and Shaq. Who do you have like that today? Draymond Green, but he's a sucker. Like, he's a fucking asshole. Yeah, there are a little bit more stuff happening with the league of like rivalries, but I just felt like no shit from like 2005 to like maybe a couple years ago. It was more of like, oh yeah, no defense. We're just gonna go ham on each other. But this is not about basketball. It's about the movie. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Jason Statham, Bateman, not Statham. We have Jay Mohr in a very, very small role, and others in this film that like this film. Yes, this was an hour and 50-ish minute movie that zoomed by pretty quick. I like the acting. I like the cinematography. I love the whole 80s aesthetic of it and how it just felt that way. But I would say that some writing felt disjointed on some levels, especially with this Born in the USA style thing. Like, I didn't know what the message was going to be, but we'll talk about that at the very end. Let's go with the positives. Which, when talking about the positives, this is a very different movie for me for Ben Affleck to direct. This is more of his more tame one. He did this one, Something the Night. I can't remember that one. He did Argo, and he did one more. Why can't I remember the other one? The Town. Yes. So I would say like Above the Night or something. I don't know, but I would say Ben Affleck's a very solid director when he has competent people writing, competent people behind the camera helping him, and in front of the camera. Like, he plays Phil Knight. It feels like he did a pretty good job. But like I said, this goes with the writing, which I will discuss later. The acting was great. The cinematography was great. The look was great. The songs they chose were great. Like, the overall technical aspect of the film, I understand some people didn't like the film, didn't like the cinematography or some of the editing, but none of the editing to me was jarring. And people were, a little bit, I want to say, upset or didn't like the nostalgic of the 80s and how we're focusing on them doing this thing right here and focusing on right here are these commercials. I'm a sucker for it, so I enjoyed it. And I understand some of it. Actually, no, I don't. I love anything that's nostalgia, like Apollo 10.5. Freaking love that film. With Air, they did the same nostalgic factor, and I truly, truly enjoyed it. Like I said, I think Jason Bateman, to me, was the standout, in my opinion. Or it was Flunk. I want to say it was like Fuck or something, but it was Flunk. Those two actors blew it out of the water. And Matt Damon at the very end, this running gag, hysterical. It makes me feel that way because I'm a runner. I usually try to run 1.5 miles every other day. But it's the same way as like, how do you like running? No one should like just running. Yes, I like running, playing basketball, but just running. Nike, what the fuck were you thinking? Which I didn't know that Converse was like 53% of the market at the time. Adidas was like maybe 27%. And then Nike was about 17% of the basketball shoe market. But man, how times have changed what Nike is today, letting men who think they are women do sports bras. Men who think they know what it's like to get periods. Men who think they know the struggle of natural boobs, of breast cancer, having mastectomies, and now you automatically think, oh, now I have these fake tits. I know what it's like to be a woman. Fuck off. And then Nike and shit like this promotes it. Anyway, this is why I don't like Nike and the whole China thing. So let's talk about the negatives. And to me, the negative is something about the writing. While there is some extremely, extremely witty and fun, freaking, and hysterical dialogue, there is some dialogue in here where I'm like, I don't know where it's trying to go. For example, Phil Knight's character. I don't know if they're trying to make fun of him. I don't know if they were trying to say he was a genius. I didn't know if they were trying to say that he was a dick. I don't know. Maybe he's all three. I don't know. Also, some of the Jason Bateman dialogue about Born in the USA and then connecting it to his 7-year-old daughter, as well as connecting it to building the shoes in Thailand and China. Like, I know I felt like he was trying to say, like, we're born in the USA and there's like, freedom and pride. But then listening to the song, it's more about people coming back from Vietnam. And then it maybe connects to us doing that, and it connects to having them build shoes for us. So what does this song connect to that? But then it also connects to him seeing his 7-year-old daughter. So I'm trying to think how that all connects to some of the dialogue pieces. So I got some mixed messaging with some of the dialogue. And that's my biggest fault with the movie. But overall, Air is 100% a win. People might be talking about Oscar talks. I don't see it. I don't see any acting. I don't see any technical aspects. I don't see any directing. I don't see a best picture nod for this movie whatsoever. Period. Dot. It's just a fun sports movie that a lot of people can freaking enjoy. So Air will receive a 4.5 out of 5 with Futons equals that 90%. Also, Chris Tucker was fantastic. Marlon Wayne was maybe in the movie for 4 minutes. But let's see the critics' news scores gave this one. So you have critics a 92% with 235 of them. Audience score 98% with over 1,000. Critic consensus. The fact-based drama that no one will dunk on. Aims to dramatize events that change the sports world forever and hits almost nothing but net. Sure, that's way too many basketball puns. I know they're trying to be witty, like ha ha ha. But yeah, good movie. I recommend it if you like sports movies. Period. Dot. End of subject. 92, 98, 90. Chase out with the Blue Futon. Like, comment, subscribe. One more thing, Futon Top. You Futon today. Have a great day. And are you one of those people that used to have Nike products but got rid of all of it and moved to Reebok and Adidas like this guy? I truly did. But I don't care if you're watching it today, tomorrow, a week from now, a month from now, a year to now. I love every single one of you. And yes, I own one pair of Air Jordans. It's number 20. I own the 31s or 33s. I don't know. I have it originally in the box. They're white. Sorry, I'm drunk. They're black and red. Almost like the Bulls colors, actually.